allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everybody get a chance to look over the minutes? Second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, PS1, resolution appointing members to the Fire Advisory Board. So get it first. Okay. So what this is it's put the list, the accordance with the New York Municipal Law, putting a board for the advisory for the fire department together. Do I need to read the names? Are we all good? Lee?
I looked it over, it's a nice pick, and I want to thank them for their services. A non-paying job, and it's nice to have people, donate their time and work hard for this. Thank you.
One of these people, you'll see his last name is Jordan. He's my brother. He's been on for 60-some years in Refugee Fire Department. Lives in Osceola. And I went to Williamstown and Elkmar and Orwell, and I can't get anybody to join that fire advisory. So I was grateful that he said yes. So just let you know he is my brother, and I'm glad he's coming.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. PS2, resolution to delete one temporary position in Emergency Management Office. You want to take that over? Or?
Sure, no problem. So this position was put in place in the
Nope.
budgeting part.
Motion to discuss?
Oh, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Sorry.
That's okay. So this is just deleting a temporary position we put in place for retirement. That person has since retired, and the gentleman that took the retirement position is moved into her position. So it's just deleting positions created for the temporary time spent with them.
Any further discussion?
It doesn't show up on the budget next year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. PS3, resolution authorizing the Emergency Management Office to accept funding from New York State FY 2023 Critical Infrastructure Grant Program. Looking for motion? Thank you.
So this is a grant that we applied for to really just strengthen the security and resiliency of our emergency operations center in the backup center, which is located in the basement with us. There is no county part of that, so it's just $47,500 to spend on that for us. You guys don't have any part of it, so.
Any further discussion? No?
Did you apply for it?
Yes,
Did our grant writers help you or no?
Tyler's a great grant writer.
Ah. I get that. Okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. PS4, resolution authorizing the Oswego County Management Office to accept funding from Walmart Spark Local Grant. Basically accepting $1,000 from Walmart. In a motion, sorry.
Second.
What do with that? Or, second. Okay. Any further discussion on that?
So this is just $1,000 at Walmart, Central Square, or no, sorry, out of Fulton, that we applied for a grant from them. We're just gonna use it to buy some emergency preparedness supplies for our community events that we do. On occasion, you've seen me bring these to before with a drone program. We did apply for that from the drone program, the drone coordinator did too, so that might come through at some point with the sheriff's department to bring to us forward. So that's all.
Seem to see Walmart almost every year.
Yes, it's generally Central Square and Fulton Walmart. I think we got denied this big old Walmart one that we applied for, but so far they're generous. They believe in public safety initiatives.
Raise your hand.
Yeah. Do we spend some of that money at Walmart? Or try to, or would be?
We could. We do public information with them too, to make sure that they know that we acknowledge the support that they gave us. But I mean, if it's something that we could buy from them locally, we're certainly
Yeah,
gonna
if there
look
was
at
some
it.
smalls or something, I'm thinking, you know, that we could get from them with that or something, would be nice. But
Yeah.
Be your discretion. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? PS5, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, sheriff's office to accept donations from Brookfield Regional. You want to take that down, or?
Yeah, it's just, they donate money.
Motion, sorry. Myrtle, second from Myrtle. Go ahead, sorry.
They just donate money for the drone program.
I have some question. As you said, have they been doing this for a while?
I think we've gotten that for 2 years now, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we got about $5,000 a couple of years ago. They actually gave $5,000 to the city of Oswego and $5,000 to the county to support, drone initiatives over the river. So this is just another version of it, just moving less money.
I'd be curious why a renewable energy company is giving money. I mean, do they gain something out of this donation, or just want to support the
Public safety,
public
move safety on the river.
No, I understand that. I just didn't. It's just interesting that the renewable energy would be using it. So.
I say that was pretty good for some renewable energy to donate to our sheriff department. I'd be pretty happy they did that.
No, it's great to get money, but I didn't know that they'd get something in return. And
I think a lot of times they like to just donate to the community as part of their overall mission. A lot of companies, they just have in their budget so much for the community. A lot of times I think that happens. And so they say, okay, here's something, this is something helps everybody, the safety.
no, and drone program I think is really a good program. So, just wondering.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? PS6, resolution authorizing budgetary modifications for sheriff's office to transfer funds and other supplies and expense in jail for housing out costs. First, second,
I'll second.
Linda and Lombardo. Okay, Don.
Age old dilemma, trying to budget for housing out for jail population. We do the best we can to budget it, but we never know what it's gonna be until we are halfway through the year usually.
Could you tell me, where do people go? Where do they get transferred to?
Depends if it's male or female, where we have contracts with, Ontario County, sometimes Madison County.
And are they the state designated one for criminals that have mental illness? Because I know there's like 5 or 6.
Some of this will be, we have mental health issues, and then sometimes it's just overcrowded. I believe this one is actually for mental health, it's not.
So we're actually asking to transfer funds from the JCO line, which is, or to the JCO line, which is for mental health patients. And they typically go to Marcy, which is the
That's
New York State Psych Center. There's another one out near Rochester. So we're taking the funds from JPRIS, and that's our housing out when we have overcrowding for females. Female inmates. So we're just kind of bouncing that. Sometimes we have a lot more women in the jail, and sometimes we have a lot more people with mental health issues. So we kind of.
So this is for both women and for people that are struggling with mental.
No, we're taking it from the line that we typically use for housing women out
Oh,
because we have a small pond in the jail for women, and that gets overcrowded pretty easily. Right now, it's not. We were able to make a little bit more room down there. So, but we don't have the services to be able to provide somebody that has, higher mental health needs.
No, I'm familiar with Mercy. So.
Yeah.
This one inmate can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, of course.
It can be over $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
For one person.
How many beds do we have for that department that you're talking about for the women?
They move pods around. What they'll try to do is
if the women's pod is getting too full, they'll move it to a larger pod and then disperse the male inmates. It's not just a question of numbers, it's classification is the issue. Because you have to be separated by a fence, by whether or not they're already in the system, or if they're state prisoners letting go, if it's paroles, and all these classifications that we have to adjust to the pods. So the lieutenants that are running the jail are doing a great job with that. That's why we have an abundance of money in women's account, because they were able to put them in a larger pod, so we have more beds. We didn't have to ship out female inmates this year as much as we did in the past.
And right now, we're not at full capacity.
No.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. PS7, resolution authorizing the execution of an intermunicipal agreement with the Madison County Sheriff's Office pursuant to General Municipal Law 119-0. Done.
Yeah,
Motion? Sorry, Herb?
Second.
Thank you. Okay.
It's just if we have a large event, like a shooting or a standoff, then we have to bring in another team to assist us. Or if they have something, we'll go to help them. No agency can handle one of these situations on themselves or by themselves. We have, on our team, we have 2 snipers. So if we have an incident where we have to set up on a barricaded subject in the middle of winter, you can't leave somebody on the end of a rifle for more than a half hour at a time. So we have to rotate people out. So we just don't have the staff to do that, nor do these other agencies that we make agreements with. So we assist them, they assist us.
So this is basically a policy. It's in place, so if a situation happens,
Yes.
everybody knows this is the policy, this is what we follow.
Correct.
Nice to be able to do a big, not even say, wait a minute now, did you agree?
I have a lot of questions. The first one is, how did the resolution come about? Is this just one that you decided that you haven't had enough staff because of these events? Possibilities because you read it as if you've experienced a potential need for, and in it you listed a whole host of things, including civil unrest and others. So I'm wondering why this. I'm putting them both together because they're related. Why these resolutions at this time? And why did it come about?
Because it was obvious that we need these resolutions. We've been doing this since I've been sheriff. We've been doing it for the last 40 years. I used to run the SWAT team for Syracuse PD. We would go all over if an agency needed assistance. This just codifies it with Syracuse Police Department, with Madison County. It's just something to cover all the agencies involved. Their legislature asked for it in both counties.
Okay, so
Madison County and Onondaga County and Syracuse PD had an agreement. They realized we were the only ones that didn't have agreements with them.
So theirs are already in place. They've already voted on this to be in relationship with
With
us.
each other, they are currently going through this process in Onondaga County with the same thing. It's Syracuse PD and Madison County.
Why the Syracuse police and not the Onondaga sheriff?
We have agreements with them. They'll come up here also. But Syracuse Police Department, because their team is just much bigger. But again, Madison County had a barricaded subject out there. It went for almost 3 days. We were there. Onondaga County was there. Syracuse Police Department, Cortland County, Manlius was there. It's just what it takes when you have an ongoing situation like that. And if, God forbid, if there was ever a mass shooting at a school, everybody, we would have Rochester cops showing up on the scene. It's just.
Does that also include the state police too?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's all the agencies in this county.
It's no different than fire departments assisting each other. No fire department can handle. He's over here. You moved on. No fire department can handle like a large fire. They're going to call in other agencies, and that's what we do.
Sheriff, did they reach out to you, or did we reach out to them for this?
These are guys that I've worked with for 40 years, so we're together constantly on operation.
For this resolution, did
Yes.
bring them?
They reached out to
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Because I'm interested in why Madison and why Syracuse. I know that you've worked together in the past as individuals in Madison County, and so y'all know each other already, but have you asked other agencies?
Our SWAT team is made up of members from Oswego City Police, our team, Madison County. They all train together. It's one team, really. But, you know, in smaller operations, we'll handle our own. City will handle theirs. But on a larger operation, we all work together. All these agencies in the area.
I guess a big concern I've had is you include civil unrest as one of your issues, and other persons committing violent acts. I understand that. What constitutes civil unrest?
I'll tell you from experience, when there were the riots in Syracuse, myself and the undersheriff went down with 40 deputies and assisted them.
Are other agencies included in this? And do people ever say, no, we don't want to be working together?
Not that I know.
You know. And help me understand, you said your SWAT teams. What other special teams do we have in our county that respond to these kind of situations?
What
You
kind of
said,
situation?
well, no, the ones that you list here. I mean, you said you have SWAT teams, and
It will include the bomb squad from Syracuse Police Department. We don't have one. Madison County doesn't have one. And most of the sheriff's offices around us do not have bomb squads. So the two we rely on are Onondaga County and Syracuse people.
for the bomb squad.
Thank you, Sheriff. Herbs.
For a little bit of history about our SWAT team, I was on the first SWAT team they ever had in Onondaga County. Syracuse P took us under their wing and they trained us. So we had that connection for years and years and years. This is a long time ago when I started with the SWAT team. So probably looking at 30-some years or more. But they took us under the wing. They took us down there. We stayed down there and we trained with their people. That's been 30, 40 years ago. So it's nothing new. They've always helped us.
Can I speak? No, I just wanted to, my biggest issue is that we get the material like 3 o'clock on Friday, and I was at a conference until Saturday night, and I've had very little time to do any research to understand all of this, to enter into this kind of agreement, and that's why I'm asking these questions, and I get frustrated by not having information in time to be able to read. I mean, even if I was home over the weekend, to be able to ask the questions of different individuals that I might need to ask information from, they're not available. And we had this meeting on Monday morning, so it's really, I wish we could get the material much earlier than Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I just need to put that on the record.
So my question is, what is the definition of civil unrest?
Riots, we'll say.
Is there a definition of saying this is civil unrest as opposed to people gathering?
Yeah,
How do you
I
determine?
guess the level of violence, the threat of violence would be the difference.
Okay, so is there in the law some sort of something that defines civil unrest? I don't know.
I imagine there's municipal law that would probably state exactly what it is, but again, it's kind of up to interpretation. But if you have violence or destruction of property, then that's certainly going to be considered civil unrest.
Just wondering, what constitutes it, up to the interpretation.
Well, that would be two things: destruction of property and violence.
Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Is there any additional cost to this, or it's just basically, I think I was reading that every agency absorbs the cost themselves, whatever cost it would be, or is there something more?
Nah, I mean, it's just the cost to get the personnel there, response.
Which is our,
Again, it goes back and forth, so in the end, it all works out.
do you have any idea of how frequent it might have to be used?
I'm guessing since I've been sheriff in the last 8 years, probably 6, 8 times, once or twice a year maybe, or something happens. Sometimes it's extended period of time. Like I said, the Madison County thing was over the course of 72 hours. Syracuse incident, we were down there for probably 6 hours.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Just not knowing that.
All right. PS8, resolution authorizing the execution of an intermunicipal agreement with the City of Syracuse Police Department pursuant to general municipal law. This actually mirrors PS7, just this is now for Syracuse, the other one was Madison County. So that's up first, second, and that's third.
You did say that the Onondaga Sheriff's Department's involved too, or not?
Yeah, we will support them, they support us.
Is it in a formalized?
I'm not
agreement?
sure on that, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they've come to us.
Because it would make sense that they should be, that it was in Syracuse and shouldn't, the county.
I just know that the other 2 agencies were, actually the Madison County one was caused because Syracuse PD asked for one of Madison and us. So we looked at it and there's 3 agencies that always work together, more so than with Onondaga County. But, yeah, there might be a case where we come back with another resolution for Onondaga County. Or it may already exist, I'm not sure.
What about other adjacent counties? Have you ever had to work with them?
Cuba County and Cortland County have asked us for help in the past, yes.
And is there, what's the process of agreeing to work with them? Is it specific to the incident rather than being a set agreement?
Yeah, they'll just call, usually the department head will call, agency head will call and ask for assistance.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone opposed? PS9, resolution authorizing capital project number 0226, sheriff's purchase of ballistic vest for patrol. Done. Oops, I keep skipping that, sorry, first, second, or, thank you. I apologize, guys.
The vests have expired and we just need to update our vests for the patrol officers. I can tell you this, that if a deputy was ever shot and killed with an expired vest, speaking from past experience, the county would be on the hook for millions of dollars. So it's just something to do. And typically what we do is we'll collect the old ones, they sit around for a while, so we get enough of them, and then we donate them to an agency that sends them over to Ukraine for soldiers.
How did they expire? What's that?
And just like everything else, they have an expiration date on them.
But I mean, does the material degrade?
Yeah, because they're moved around and the fibers break down.
When do they expire? Have they already expired?
We have some, it's on a rotating basis. When somebody's hired, we order new ones, so it's constantly
turnover.
I'm guessing it's about 7 years. The reason I say that is because I know mine was just told mine's expired, so I got one when it was brand new with the sheriff's office. I'm guessing it's about 7 years. I could be wrong.
It's like
I think it's 5 now.
But,
Yeah, and the last time we bought, the majority of these, we bought them with SHSB funding. Problem is we haven't had any SHSB funding in 25 or 26 at this point in time, so that's how we've always allocated some funding for that. So some of this funding is coming from SHSP, which is State Homeland Security Grant Funding 23. It's money that was allocated to the Sheriff's Department for that particular grant, and they just need to spend it. So that's where that 20,000 comes from. It is expiring in August 2026, so they need to use the funding this year.
How many vests do you get, I mean, at a time? You said, I know it rotates, you said you rotate to the, I mean, I don't know, can we talk
The other ones we-
20, 30? I have no idea, I put the numbers on.
Usually the SWAT team, they all expire at the same time. That's usually the
Okay,
purchase. And then everybody else, just a matter of how many people are in the academy.
Then how many's on the SWAT team?
About 30.
30. So this, I just learned something in case other people didn't know that the vests are not considered equipment. I thought that they were considered equipment, but it's something you would use. Thank you. I just learned that it's not equipment because I was thinking why it couldn't be budgeted in your regular budget, but it's not an equipment request.
Usually it's due to the cost. We'll do it as a capital project.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
PS 10, resolution authorizing the creation of a law intern for district attorney. Looking for a motion?
Second.
First and second. Let's see here. You're up. Yes, sir, you know.
You're looking at me.
Yep.
I can see it.
I am.
So we already have budgeted 2 law clerks, which we've filled. We found that we have another exceptional candidate, and we believe that not only that is important as a kind of a recruitment basis to get second-year law students into our office working as if they're assistant district attorneys or working in conjunction with assistant district attorneys. The fact that we have this much interest in law students wanting to work in my office goes to the effect of trying to maintain a relationship with law students and keep in touch with them so that maybe in the future they would become assistant district attorneys. We find it a fruitful endeavor and vocation. That being said, I know for the record, in our budget, we have budgeted 2 law clerks for this purpose. We're asking to create a 3rd line for a 3rd law clerk. And if you look at it this way, we already have a budgeted line for a CLA, which is a criminal law associate. That criminal law associate cannot work for the district attorney's office until August, late August, middle August. We already have it in our budget. It's about a 72 to 75, I don't have the number exactly, $75,000 budgeted item that we have not had filled since January of this year. We will fill it, and maybe it was a week or 2. Maybe I'm over it. I want to go on the record and be correct here. So our current criminal law associate became an assistant district attorney when she was sworn in January of this year. So it may have been a couple of weeks that she was budgeted under the CLA line. She then took over an ADA line. If you look at it, that's about $82 an hour for our criminal law associate that has not been filled. We're a law clerk is about $29, and I'm racing up that. It's a little bit less than that. So when you compare that, we won't have it. Actually, it mirrors from our law clerk will be here we're starting May 18th, and they'll go to approximately the first week of August until they go back to law school. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll fill our CLA position because we already have somebody who's accepted that position. So when I say that we have money in our budget to do that, if you use those comparisons, we actually have more than enough to cover this position. That's all I got to say, and they will be very helpful to the district attorney's office because they do research and they assist us in certain things that we actually have holes in. us one time in our makeup of our office, so we always look forward to them showing up in the summer.
So you're looking right now today for one law clerk?
Correct. We're creating one because we already have two in our budget. So this is to create an additional law clerk, which would maybe go from 2 to 3.
Thank you.
I was reading and I wanted to be clear with everybody that we have 2 in our budget, which are filled, and now we have a third, very deserving candidate. And again, it doesn't matter who, what, where, when, but we have 3 that are very deserving of that position. And I think that, again, for recruitment purposes, that have law students come and want to work with the Oswego County District Attorney's Office, I think to this committee should be a benefit, should be something very positive.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. PS 11, resolution amending salary for Oswego County District Attorney. For a motion? Russell? Thank you. Bill?
This is a mandate from New York State. Just by way of background, New York State sets the salary for county district attorneys. State law, counties are required to pay their DAs the same amount the state pays county court judges. And they increased the salary, judicial salaries on April 1st. So we have to amend the DA's salary to match that. It's $4,500. And make sure you knew your DA wasn't asking for a raise. This is a New York State mandate. A little bit of history. Many years ago, when the salary was $144, New York State paid half of it, $72,000 to us. The state began increasing judicial salaries up to what it is now, but they never increased the amount of it that they paid for. So the salary goes up, but the state's reimbursement stays at $72. So this is just a formality. We have to do this to amend the budget so that the district attorney is paid state mandated rate.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. PS 12, resolution approving an authorized agency funding agreement with the Oswego County Animal Welfare League. Looking for a motion? First. Okay. At this point, we're actually going to be tabling this one for some further information, and we have some verbiage after I was talking with the sheriff that we're going to have to look into.
I'll make the motion to table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. All right. Reporting department, EMS department. Nate?
Yep. Good morning, everybody. What's going on in the EMS world in the county? Our certified first responder course started earlier this month. We had a couple people drop last minute, so our final numbers are actually 7 original 0 refreshers, 6 of which are sprinkled in from a bunch of local area volunteer fire departments, and then one student is actually not affiliated with the fire department. So that class will continue, and it concludes on June 6th. Still partnering with Workforce New York to offer tuition assistance when approved and available. We're still offering our Stop the Bleed program. We were able to go out and offer an AED overview training for the Office of the Aging, and more to come on that. Kathy and I are working on making that available for countywide for other departments if they want to. So stay tuned on that. A couple things I'd like to highlight is earlier in April, our responder wellness team, which is Shane and I are working on together for fire and EMS. We were able to send 3 of our team members to a 3-day peer and group support training at Brewston Fire, hosted by Upstate University The instructor who came taught that course runs like the peer support team for the entire state of Rhode Island, so we really have a really knowledgeable instructor come teach some of our folks who are going to be on our new team. Sheriff's Department was able to send some people to that as well as 911, so we have probably about 7 people from our county on all of our teams who are now trained up to that level. So that was extremely beneficial. That puts our team to have about 8 certified and trained peers, and I'm hoping that number is going to continue to grow as word gets out and we get more and more members. So there's lots of good interest, and that program is working pretty well. It's already been put in action a couple of times now, and it seems to be working very well for first responders. So, and again, thank you to the Sheriff's Office and their peers team for supporting us with that, as well as 911. They've been a lot of help in getting our program up and off the ground. So look forward to continuing to work with them too on that stuff. The Comprehensive Emergency Medical System Plan, which is outlined in Senate Bill S7501A, there was a couple of chapter amendments that hit the governor's desk. So they extended that deadline 6 months, so we now have until December 19th to submit that plan to the state. As far as what is exactly required in that and what the format will be, I just got a letter this morning from the director of the Division of EMS at New York State saying they're going to put out a template in the next week or so. So we're going to start getting going on that to fulfill that mandate. I don't expect any additional cost. We should be able to handle it in office. So there'll just be a lot of data collection and formalizing a plan to the state. So. We conducted an MCI training for the student ambulance corps at SUNY Oswego and University PD. That went well. That training is available and offered to all EMS and fire departments as they requested. And then I was also invited to go out to the Tug Hills Local Government Conference to present on the status of our county's EMS system and highlight some case studies for them. I was very glad to go out and talk about that and to present. Other than that, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
I just want to comment on the courses that you do for the first responders, EMTs, that I know one class where all 12 of them went from the beginning to the end, and they all got certified. And so, it says a lot for our training, and most of them are right now working on ambulance crews in Central New York. I think that's a great attest that we're doing something, getting these kids certified, get them a job, get them out where we need them in the EMO service.
Yeah, every class we tend to see close to 100% pass rate. Our instructors are really good at working with students to make sure they're ready. After the first week, we always have 1 or 2 that usually drop after the first week, but after that, we tend to have pretty high success rates. So that's definitely that's a credit to our instructors more than anything. So.
I think the hardest thing is when the new ones come in, a lot of the ambulance crew wants you to have some experience before you get hired. So it's kind of like a circle, but there's always someone that does pick them up and take a chance if they're doing good. So thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. EMO department, Kathy.
Submitted my report. In addition to that, I just want to highlight a couple things. So first, I want to appreciate that there's some in this group that attended our Emergency Operations Center training that we conducted last week, which primarily focused on what an emergency operation does and what it does and what it is. So that way you understand a little bit better what we do if that facility is activated and what are the roles and responsibilities of people that are actually in the facilities at the time. Paul did come out, and I thank him for that. We also did have a class that we had Thursday evening, which was an emergency management for elected officials. So we kind of stepped through municipalities on how they're declaring emergencies, also issuing emergency orders, how to do that, how our office can help with that, and what things we can help you with during emergencies. So we were able to provide some examples of how those happened, and even, we look at the snowstorm from last year and helping Phoenix with that piece. I mean, it's good to establish that partnership prior to emergencies, so you know the faces and you know the people that you're dealing with. So like to see people before emergencies happen. So appreciate the amount of people that came out to that. So we will continue to do those annually. We try to. What else? I was able to talk, or at least attend the economic development meeting last month. Mel, you weren't there. No. Heather Snow and I sat down with cities, OCs, Mexico School, and Spiegel School, and Regional Central to talk about the electric bus mandate. Because all those agencies support our ability to evacuate during a radiological incident. So they're have some concerns over the bus mandate of how that's going to impact that capability. We really don't have enough information on that yet because particularly those two school districts haven't purchased any yet. But there is some data out there that would suggest that these buses are not going to be able to run continuously to support an emergency planning zone evacuation. With that being said, I know Senator Ryan had a couple pieces of a bill that one delayed the mandate or also eliminated the mandate for those districts that are in the emergency planning zone. I hope they get some traction. I was able to meet with the vendor that Constellation hires to do the evacuation time estimates at a conference last week and just brought this up to them. We just need some specific data for them to take a look at, like, how many pieces of evacuation would it take to safely and reliably move people from the emergency planning zone if there was an incident. So more to come on that. I would hope that maybe this legislature could support, some delay in this mandate, or even if there was some changes to it. That's something that we need to look at quite heavily with the radiological program. So have that. We are monitoring the water levels for the lake. They're up about a foot higher than they were last year and the year before, but last year and the year before they were also lower than normal. So at this time, we really haven't had any indication that there's any issues. We reached out to some of the areas that have been suspect in 2017 and 19 that had a lot of lakeshore flooding issues. There's also been a lot of projects that people did, mitigation projects, as well as the READY, which is the resiliency. I'm going to read this so I'll forget it. So the READY project, so resiliency and economic development initiatives, which were projects that the state did provide some funding to help municipalities or areas try to mitigate that flooding part. So far, knock on something, we're not seeing any issues, but we are about a foot higher than we were last year. And really, some of this flooding is going to be known until you get some strong winds that are going to cause some wave action, which is where we get some of the inundation or some of the lakeshore flooding. But when I look back at 2022 and 2023 levels, they're about the same as they are right now. So I'm not worried about it at this point, but if someone has anyone that they know in the municipality that has some issues, definitely reach out to our office. We'll make sure that we're in connection with them. And then the last thing I'll just bring up is that, so at the May 14th legislative meeting, we do have an EMS proclamation. So if you love photos, there'll be one taken. So that's all I have. Unless anybody has questions.
Okay. By any chance did Kevin give you anything?
He did.
He did. Okay. District Attorney Anthony.
Yes. It's been a busy month. Getting the business of public safety and prosecution in the county of Oswego. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the headlines. We've had more amount of specialty cases in Oswego. That being said, one of the specialties we actually have designated prosecutor for animal cruelty cases. So everybody kind of seen in the paper, they're just innocent until proven such. But we've had an inordinate amount of those cases in the last month. I can say that with the assistance of the sheriff down in Hilton, we did host the district attorney's office as well as the Swedish County Sheriff's Department hosted a fraud presentation at the sheriff's facility on April 4th. It was very successful. We had close to 75 people from law enforcement, including our assistant district attorneys, listening to the presentation. Fraud presentation was presented by the Department of Labor at my request. Actually, the director of Office of Special Investigations for New York State and the Department of Labor, William Cobb, actually personally appeared. We had Jack Shahaki and Lisa Pianadillo and Roseanne Murphy from the Department of Labor, who presented to us on various issues of fraud that are occurring within those from the Department of that, any issues associated with the Department of Labor. We also have Philip Ruzzi, I'm saying the Italian, from the Attorney General's office. He's an assistant Attorney General, presented on other issues of fraud investigations that the Attorney General takes on. Technically, a lot of those investigations are referred over to the Attorney General's office. From time to time, our office will prosecute those cases, those issues, those subject matter of those cases. However, it is a great opportunity for all law enforcement to get additional resources, which those the Department of Labor can provide, as well as the Attorney General's in the fraud unit to provide a lot of resources for our law enforcement as well as our prosecution of those matters. So it was a very, very successful presentation, and I want to thank all those who participated and helped in our share of my life. And that's it.
Any questions for the district attorney? Sheriff's Department.
I just want to remind everybody you're invited to the award promotion ceremony on Friday the 8th. If you haven't received the invitation yet, 10 o'clock at the Police Academy. Also, for anybody that has never been on a tour of the jail, I would recommend it. You have to vote on issues from down there, so contact us or we can set it up as a group, or if you want to come down as an individual, we'll get you through that. And now we have 2 academies going right now, Road Patrol and Corrections. Both doing very well. Other than that, just going along.
Any questions? Okay. Probation Department. Dave?
Good morning, thanks. So a few things. I recently got our probation annual plan from Division of Criminal Justice Services, and we have to submit for our funding, so I'm working on trying to get that done. It includes a lot of information. We had 3 officers start at the basic course of peace officer training last Monday. And actually, I noticed I had a typo in my report that the program is actually 6 weeks long. I think I had in there, so it looked like it was a week, but so they won't be done until June 5th, actually. And we've got a couple officers who want to assist with that. We have some provide instructors. So another thing, I don't know if the committee was aware that we have a couple firearms instructors that help a lot too with training for Sheriff's Department. They recently were in Watertown helping them, so we tend to all kind of share instructors around. Somebody really has enough for 2 hours programs. That's good for us, and then are willing to take our people when we need to when we need training, so, which is good. We started using our body-worn cameras that we purchased. We got everything set up for that. As far as Stop DUI, we had a victim impact panel on April 15th, and our next one will be in June. We have some mock DUIs planned. This Thursday, there's one in Mexico. Next Wednesday, one in Hannibal, and then next Friday in Sweden. So that's people going to those now.
What does that do?
Yeah, it's like a crash, basically. We bring in 2 vehicles so they look like they crashed. The school does a lot of the planning, but we assist them. And then they usually have either juniors and seniors, just seniors. Usually it's juniors and seniors, because most schools do it every other year. So they usually have the top 2 classes go and do that. And then it's basically looks like a complete crash. I mean, they have 911, someone makes the call to the police, and they have all, fire department comes, police come, they drag people out that are dead or injured. Just the impact, obviously, on what it's like. Yeah, it's really, they try to do it before prom, because they've kind of proven that the event is impactful, but of course with that age group of kids, it doesn't stay with kids in their memory forever and ever. So they do it like a few days, they try to do it right before prom. That tends to be a big drinking and driving part of it.
So just to add to that, the district attorney's office participates in that. We just had a meeting last week. Mexico, Oswego High School is coming up
Next Friday.
Next Friday. And Is it Hannibal this year?
Hannibal's doing things fun.
Yeah. So we all participate.
Yep.
I think it's a
Group up.
very big group effort and very well worth a lot of participation. Just want to thank everybody.
Does the driver get arrested there?
We do a whole,
Good.
we do a whole
Good, that's-
court, arraignment work.
Perfect.
It really is cradle to grave, so we've done it in coordination with APW for a few years as well, so they have a crash scene, they show the EMS for the fire department, working on the individual that they extracted from a vehicle, and then they, take them away, and then they go inside and they go through, I think I haven't been one, but you participated in yet, but they go through like, going through the court system, and it can be very impactful.
Sometimes they do a funeral even.
Oh, wow.
We have a senior probation officer, Stacy Whitehall. She's kind of our staff DUI educator. She does a great job too, because she does like a presentation with kids afterwards, like kind of explaining what happened and what dangers DUI. She's great.
Do you have the dates? Because I'd like to go and.
Sure.
and
Yep.
see what-
Yeah, this coming Thursday is Mexico's. And then next week, next Friday is Oswego. This is all kind of weather permitting, because sometimes some of the schools will change the date if the weather's bad. Some of them will just not change the date and just do the whole thing inside and just eliminate the car part of it, just do like a presentation or something, depending on the weather. But and then Hannibal is next Wednesday, as far as I know, but we're just going to talk about moving that. So
What's the time?
it depends on the school district, because it depends on their schedule. It's like first thing.
Start early.
Yeah, it's usually.
Like
So-
8 o'clock or
So
something?
Mexico starts at 8:15, I can tell you exactly. That's 8:15 a.m.
And we're in
And how long does it?
It's
how
right
long-
at that sweet, Mexico High School.
2-3 hours maybe.
And so, and to find out what time and stuff, contact you, or who do I contact?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, and I'll check with Stacy and see what time.
Okay, because
Yeah.
it's okay if I come, because I
Sure.
really want
Oh, yeah,
to, I want to
absolutely.
learn what this is.
Yep. They're all pretty much the same in school. There's a little, they tweak them a little bit, like they might eliminate one of the elements, whatever, depending on who they can get. But generally, it's the same thing.
Any questions?
Okay. Clerk Coordinator Shane.
Morning. Activity for the month of March, office handled 42 incidences, 18 structure fires, 4 hazmat, 13 fire investigations, 1 dive, no technical rescue, no response required was 3, and 3 other incidents. A short list of classes there. Like I said in the beginning of the year, it's the fall. We're in the process of planning the fall now, so those will be coming out here in the next month or so. And then classes taught at the Emergency Response Center. We taught 45 classes till the end of March with 558 students going through the seats and with 288 hours of instruction. The other thing I'd like to do is, at the present time, I'd like to introduce Sean Semino and his K-9 partner Cedar. They just recently graduated as of Friday from the State Fire Academy. Just a little background, we've had a K-9 Accelerated Protection Program that started in the Sheriff's Office back in the 80s. I was the next handler from the 90s to 2000s. And then Derek Backus, his partner died, passed away a little over a year and a half ago. And then there was a little hiccup from last year's program. The K-9 that selected Sean was going down to train with didn't make the cut. So unfortunately, we didn't get a K-9 last year, but this year we were able to find one, and it's passed, and I will let him speak to his profession, and if there's any questions for me or Sean.
Thank you. I'm Sean. I've been a fire investigator since 2019 for the county. Just got my partner, so it's a 10-week program.
What's your partner's name?
Cedar. Yep. He's a 3-year-old English lab. So the program is, like I said, 10 weeks. It was about 450 hours. In 450 hours, we completed just over 400 searches. Training covers everything from, we deployed from jet boats, deployed from helicopters, ladder trucks, So we do a lot of different things to get them going. We are the only canine in the region. So the next nearest would be New York State, and that's either Rochester, Plattsburgh, Albany, or Montour Falls. So we're going to be fairly busy. So busy we graduated at noon on Friday, and at 4 p.m. on Friday we were deployed to Alaska, I believe it was, to do a search. And then again we responded to Altmar yesterday for a search. So been a busy weekend, so just getting home.
Now, exactly what are they searching for?
So he is certified for ignitable liquids. So what we look for is anything essentially that comes out of the fracking process or the distilling process from petroleum. So anything that comes from crude oil, we kind of look for. That falls into 8 different categories, from super heavy fuel oils, kerosene, diesel, all the way up into very light alcohols. And it's a wide range in between. I could talk for a very long time because I just spent a very long time learning about these things. So, but the dog has capabilities of distinguishing things that labs have a hard time distinguishing from. So like the terpenes that's in a piece of softwood, it's very close to a turpentine, and the labs have a very, very hard time distinguishing the difference, and the dog knows if it's a hardwood floor or somebody dumped paint in their face already.
Do you take the dog home with you every night?
Yeah, so one of the benefits to the program, and one of the requirements actually, is that he has to be an indoor pet. He's not allowed to be kenneled outside. He has to be a family dog.
So he's your pet too? Your partner pet?
Yeah, we hang out at the house, play with my kids, and then when I get a call, we get to go do some work.
Could you do me a favor and walk him around so we could all pet him or
Yeah,
look at him? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's walking himself around. So.
What I would like to add was Sean is a career captain with the City of Fulton Fire Department. With the assistance of Chief Randy Ketchum of the Fulton Fire Department, we were able to work out the logistics and the excuse time that he needed to go to school. So I'd like to publicly say thank you to the City of Fulton for allowing Sean that opportunity.
I'm curious, that's something to say that we're the only one in the area, the only canine in the area. Why is that? Do they just they can't afford them?
Commitment to the program is one.
Excuse me?
The commitment to the program.
Okay.
So this is probably, my partner was in service for 10 years. So this isn't just a thing that any investigator off the street can do.
Right.
One is the time commitment too. It is, I wouldn't necessarily say expensive, but there's vet bills, there's feed bills, there's all that stuff that goes along with that. I don't know if I have a direct reason why. There is other places.
Does he get called out to?
Yes. So for instance, with my partner, I can speak to Mike. I responded to Tri-County area and City of Syracuse. So everybody that's mentioned, I didn't go to Madison County, but I did go to Onondaga County on several fires, City of Syracuse on several fires, Cuba County. So we do assist. If I went to Jefferson twice, so we do assist those investigation teams. With the onus is that sometimes the state, when I came up through, the state was down to 3 dogs. Their employees, their handlers, would be on vacation or not available or tied up on another incident. So we were technically a mutual aid system for the state of New York. So when I went to Jefferson County, I was requested through the state to work up there with them to do. So he has that. He could potentially have that assignment given.
Is there any reimbursed? Obviously, there's an expense involved in going to all these different places. It's just out of the kindness of the heart and the value.
One hand washes the other.
Okay.
It's one hand washes the other. It's the same thing, just like the sheriff was speaking to earlier. It's very common in our career fields.
Yeah.
One other instance, just to say, is our hazmat team is the backup team for the City of Syracuse Fire. So but that's a tri-county, level 1 team, so it's made up of Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego County. So we do receive some funding from that from the state. Like most grants nowadays are starting to dry up pretty quickly. So it's one hand wash the other.
It's something we should toot our horn for. I mean, people should know that we're doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a very difficult, and I learned some interesting things. So the program for State Bar started in 1988, and he is dog number 68. So you look at the track record of how long the program's been out. They only do the course every other year, and they only do 2 to 3 canines at a time. So it's really, if you run the math out with a service life of approximately 10 years, they're not doing much to get a lot of teams out there. They just kind of keep replacing the ones they have.
They have to pass.
They have to pass. That was unfortunately what happened to me last time. So I kiddingly say it took me 15 weeks to finish a 10-week program.
Any other questions? Okay.
He is available to come do demonstrations. I didn't figure here was an adequate place for him to work. So he is available for demonstrations if you have groups, community groups or whatnot that would like to see that. Reach out to my office and we can schedule to come out meet.
And his name is
Cedar, like the tree. And the funny thing, the joke at the academy this class was there's 2 Seans and there was Cedar and Cider. So it was kind of a hectic time.
Search and rescue.
Tough act to follow, with the dog. As of the 20th of April, we've had 10 calls. Of that were 3 activations. In the report, we broke down subject categories and the numbers for each one. We recently received $850 from Stewart's Foundation, and with that funding, we purchased AED batteries and also giveaway items for our outreach program. Our academy is still going on right now. Recently, all the individuals and recruits finished the Wilderness First Aid certification. What's coming next up for them is Project Lifesaver, which everybody's familiar with. They go over equipment survival, lost person behavior, and one of the last things would be CalTopo, mapping software we use. The course continues on until the graduation date of June 14th. Any questions?
Is that every year?
No, it's every other year. Yeah.
Any other questions? Again, Kathy, the classes that I attended, they were very informational. I actually learned a lot about how the county works and things I didn't even know about. It's right in our backyard. If you ever get the chance and she does it, you should attend these classes because it's, and again, thank you to all of our responders and so forth for everything you do for the county. And on that note, looking for a proper motion.
Make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.